Three. Hi, welcome to J&A, aka The Jam, Voices for Change on YouTube. My name is Anthony.
And I'm Joey.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Bienvenidos. Let's do it.
Bienvenidos.
Yeah, that's right.
J&A Jam.
We in, man. And boy, you know, bro, last night, the memories come up on your phone and, like Snapchat and things like that. And I found a couple of videos of us when we were at work at the company, and during the COVID lockdowns and the craziness of that nonsense, and there was a lot of individuals that we worked with in them videos, and it was really good to see, because those were good times, even during COVID.
Yeah.
And as poorly as we were treated at that company, as hostile of an environment it was, a lot of the individuals in those videos made it good and made it a great place to be, despite all that nonsense. You'd never know that any of that was happening by looking at those videos or by seeing the pictures.
Yeah, it just shows the type of character that we are.
Yeah.
Not a hostile place. We're not hostile people, and we don't have anything in our record to support a hostile person or a disgruntled employee.
No.
Yeah.
No. Both you and I, we always well, you know what? I mean, you are the one that pretty much told me when I was the young driver. I used to tell you all the time, these people don't pay the fares all the time, and blah blah blah, and they need to choke it all up and blah blah blah. Remember that? And you used to tell me, just let them go. It's not worth the headache. Just let them go. And you know what? After a while, I just started. You know what? Hey, Anthony's right. The hell with it. Just go. Just go. Who cares? Just go. I always, man, I would never, ever tell a kid, no, they can't get on the bus, especially when they're going to school.
Yeah.
Never, ever, man. Never. I mean,
we should do a survey of the passengers, what type of people we were.
Yeah.
I know my brother hasn't got on a bus in a while, and he had to get on a bus for whatever reason. Car was in shop or whatnot, but he got on the bus and he didn't know that there was transfers and how to scan the transfer. And he's a working class person. I mean, he's works at Stater Brothers, but he got on a bus and he wasn't aware of what this transfer thing is, how you scan it. But the driver was a real jerk with him. I mean, instead of switching it and saying, you know what, let me help you, no problem. You know what? People don't realize how many family members are out there. It could be your mom and dad. It could be my mom and dad. You know what? Treating people with respect and dignity is easy to do.
That's right. That's right. Because I know that I have a daughter that goes to school down there, and she utilizes the bus from time to time. And I've heard stories from her. And she would come to me and say, they fired you because they said that you were violent and you were mean and all these other things.
Yeah.
They should look at a lot of their people and the way that they are. I mean, and too, Anthony, really, if these people are like that, if some of the drivers are like that, then but why are they like that? Could it be because they're crunched for time, or they're running, or they haven't been out of that seat in 3 hours, 4 hours?
Yeah, that's what and believe it or not, that's what I told my brother. I said, you know what, bro? I said, I can't make an excuse for how these individuals treat the riders, but I can. I'm not sticking up for them, but I'm saying that there's a lot of stress. There's lack of breaks, lack of restrooms, and these broken driver seats. That, I mean, it could make a person moody. You know what? And I was like, you know what, just give it another chance. You know what? It's probably not their fault.
Yeah,
Uh,
because anybody that's never driven a bus, especially for a company like that, um, they don't realize that you know what, you're on a schedule, and I know that if you gotta stop, you gotta stop. That's what they tell you too. The problem with that is they tell you, sure, stop. Okay, if you take 10 minutes and you're already cutting it right on that threshold, that on time threshold, man, now you're 10 minutes behind. By the time you get to Palm Springs, you're 20 minutes behind. You've got no recovery time. The traffic is slammed on the way back. You by the time you get to Cat City, you're already 5 minutes behind. Do you see? If that one 10-minute break that you need can really cause a lot of stress with a lot of people. I mean, I really wasn't one of them. I didn't, you know what? As long as I can get out of the bus for just a second, stretch my legs, and get back in and go. But you know what? We were senior drivers. We could do it like this. We could hammer it out. We could recover a lot of it at us to a certain point. But a lot of the turnover rate is sky high at the company.
you know what he said also, that it took him the bus. It was like over an hour behind where it was supposed to be. So that poor driver was probably, you know what, pushing, the weight for three other buses.
Yeah.
I heard that the hydrogen pumps have been down for quite some time, and I want to ask you, Joey, where is the media to give out public announcements to the public that the line 2 and Desert Hot Springs is not running? You know what?
Well,
What about
yeah,
the people? What about the people? When has
and
has that ever happened? When
and
during rainy season?
that's because it's the selective news leader.
Yeah, I don't see
KSQ,
any.
the worst television station in the desert. The selective news leader. It's
I,
unbelievable how they cover up stories, and how they're in the pockets of some individuals.
well, maybe that's $80,000 a year hush money. 80,000 a year hush money. You know
Yeah,
what? But
yeah,
who deserves to know? A passenger that's going to work, a mom that's going to see her kid in the hospital on the bus. Who deserves to know? The public deserves to know. You know what? Yeah, I understand there's roads that are closed, but you can get that bus on to Day Palm, to Ramon and Day Palm, and pull them into Palm Springs. If you had to run a gold shuttle to add a bus to intercept, to help assist those other buses to be on time, it's never been that way. Maybe they shouldn't have changed the service when the 30 route was stayed in Cathedral City, and the 14 route was Desert Hot Springs into Palm Springs, back to Desert Hot Springs.
right. Yeah,
And
exactly,
you lost
exactly,
all those buses.
exactly. And there's a lot of topics right here that are hot topics that we need to discuss. Um, we need Marcus. Marcus, where are you?
Yeah.
That's all right. But we're going to be doing a couple of these videos because there's a lot of topics that we need to address, especially in light of the last week of events that struck Southern California. I mean, man, that was a doozy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a doozy. But I mean, when I was taking my daughter to school, there were people sitting at bus stops that were flooded out, and they're sitting there waiting. You know damn well they're waiting for a bus. They weren't homeless people. They probably had no idea that the bus wasn't coming.
Because if they would have put it on the news, they would have put it on the Mexican news. People would have been aware that there was no service. I mean, I understand. Okay, so this goes back to, what is your emergency preparedness plan? what do you have in place for a major emergency? I can't hear you, Joey.
Anthony, Marcus is calling.
Okay.
Marcus is calling.
Let me let us go on and pause for a second here. So let's talk about I know we got a little interruption here, but let's talk about what is an emergency preparedness plan. Earthquakes, floods. I mean, you got to have a strategy. When Oglesby was there, he gave us buckets of preparedness for the big quake or whatever emergency took place.
That's right. That's right. It's, you know what? There's a lot of things that you and I know that even before Marcus got to the company, how it once was. And, you know, we had all those buildings. Those buildings were all strategically placed there certain ways. And there was a windsock on the roof. They were all numbered. And there was a complete layout of the entire valley at the time period that it was made. And it was designed to be like a command center and a major catastrophe like an earthquake. And the buses were designed at the time to go from transit to search and rescue.
Yeah.
None of that exists now. None of it, because you've got, we'll wait.
All right. Oh, okay, so we're gonna wrap this
Yeah, well,
we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna continue getting content, and we'll post the following videos the next few days. But my name is Anthony, and I am protected under Labor Code 232.5 and the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and Labor Code 6310. I'm part of a whistleblower. It will come out in the future, and things are going well.
that's right. Same for me.
What are your rights, Joey?
I'm protected under Labor Code 232.5, Labor Code 6310. Whistleblower. I am a whistleblower as well. It will come out in the end. The truth will set you free. All you liars and perjurers.
Joey, what about your First Amendment?
Yeah, that's right. Freedom of speech, First Amendment rights. That's right, baby.
All right.